Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you all are doing good. Please stay home and stay safe. The condition outside is deteriorating very badly. Before we start today's video, I want to talk about this ebook. This ebook is written by a software engineer who has worked in many multinational companies. What is this about? It is about data structures and algorithms. It has 90 plus DS Algo chapter, and also one interesting part in this is it has 15 plus HR questions also. So most of you who will be sitting for placements, if you are going to clear it, you have to most likely give a HR round where sometimes some people get stuck. So it might help you if you refer to this book, it might help you in your placement. And DSA, it is anyway necessary. So and this book is having all concepts covered in a very neat and organized way. And because it's an ebook, you can click on any link, it will directly take you to that page. So that is very comfortable. You don't have to keep scrolling. And let me just show you some pages over here. See, you can see here, for example, quick sort. If you want to learn, introduction is given, what are the steps, how the algorithm is, examples are given with diagrammatic representation. So this is worth your money. It is available for a very affordable price. Please do check, the link is in the description of this video. So please do buy it, and don't ask me that can you give the book for free. Please don't ask me. And the creator has put a lot of effort in doing it, so if you really like it, just buy it. It's for a very affordable price. Excuse me. So let us go to today's problems. Now actually I had made a video, the part 108, where I had made a correction of a previous video, that is part 107, the video previous to this. So actually, why I told about this is that in this problem that we're going to solve today, the correction part is a little bit involved. Like I had made a mistake over there, but over there that mistake I don't think will be a mistake over here. So please check out that video. So okay, even if you didn't understand what I told now, sorry for that, but let us just come back. The problem is, given a queue, we need to reverse it. How to reverse a queue? Basically, we have to make use of recursion over here. Uh, that's what the problem had told. I think, yeah, reverse a queue using recursion. So if we want to reverse a queue, so let us say there is a reverse function and we are passing a q as the argument. Okay, so here I will just call the reverse function and I will return the q. But what am I going to write in the reverse function? How do we actually reverse a q? So let us take example to understand that. Let us say our q is like this: 1 2 3 4 5. I think you all know that queue is a data structure which follows which kind of order? It follows first in, first out order. So whenever you want to picture a queue, just imagine you standing in a line, you standing in an actual queue. So then you'll get a clear idea. First in, first out. So let us say this is the queue, okay? How do we reverse it using recursion? What we will do is, we will do this algorithm repeatedly until the queue size becomes 0. What will we do? So this is the top element of the queue. We will pop this element. After popping this element, we will apply the reverse algorithm for the remaining part of the queue. Okay, so next time this element will be popped, next time this element will be popped, then this, then this. So then the queue becomes empty. And at the last, what we will do, after we write the recursive call, below that we will say q dot push whatever element we had popped out last, that we will push first. So in the final recursive call, when we pop out this element 5, after that the queue size becomes 0, so we will return. So that function, that recursive call does not do anything. But when it comes to the previous recursive call, so you should understand recursive. You should have that visualization of what I'm saying, that recursive call, how are recursive calls done? So recursive calls, whatever statements are written below recursive call, all of them will be executed in that reverse order. So that property of recursion we're taking and we're making use of it. So after queue becomes empty, then 5 will be inserted, then 4 will be inserted, 3, 2, 1. So this is how we can make use of recursion. Let me show the code. Let me code it. So let us first of all make the base condition. Base condition is if q dot size is equal to 0. You will understand what I told in just a minute. Relax. I'll code and show you. So if q dot size is equal to 0, we will return. We can't do anything. Okay. Now we will say let the front. We will store the front part of the queue, that is front element of the queue, in a variable called front. We will pop the queue front part now. Sorry, we will pop the front part. We have removed the front part. Now we will apply this reverse function to the remaining part of the queue. So whatever is remaining, that will be applied. And over here I should say q dot push. So this statement that I'm writing now, you can analyze it by taking this example, how it is going to help us reverse the queue. So what will happen is when the queue size becomes 0, the function call will be returned. But how will these statements get executed? See, after every this thing, after we pop out every element, we are doing recursive call. And then after recursive call, we are doing q dot push. So we are pushing that element. But these functions will happen in opposite order. That is, from the last call, it will start happening. So if the recursive calls happened in this order, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then these functions, that is this, sorry, only this statement is there. Sorry, this statement will happen in the order 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Opposite order. So if you still don't know recursion, I will suggest you to go watch Abdul Bari's video on YouTube. You will understand recursion. He has taken the example, he has done recursion with the entire tree, like all the branches and all he has created, and how it actually happens, he has showed there. So please look at that. So this is a simple problem, okay? And I think I'll just run it now. So as you can see, it got accepted here. So this is the correct solution for this. The next problem is also on reversing only, but this time we should reverse first k elements of the queue. So let us take an example to understand that. So if this is the queue 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then after reversing, suppose first 3 elements, if you want to reverse first 3 elements, the answer will be 3, 2, 1 and 4, 5 as it is. So this part will remain as it is, only this part is changed to this. So how do we do that? How do we reverse the first 3 elements only? Here we actually have to make use of queues and stacks. We have to do some kind of circus. Like first we will put the elements in the stack. So I will tell the algorithm verbally, listen to me. You might be able to code it after listening to me only. So we will take a stack. We have a queue as the input. We will take a stack also. We will store the first k elements of the queue in the stack. First k elements of the queue in the stack. Then what we will do, we will remove all the elements from the stack and store it in the queue. Remove all the elements in the stack and store it in the queue. So how will that operation happen? It will happen like we are putting it from behind, right? So we have removed some elements from the queue. There is a stack. From the stack, we are putting the elements and removing elements from the stack. We're putting the elements into the queue. Then what we will do, then I'll tell you further. First, we'll understand what I told till here. So if this is the queue, okay, if this is the queue, let us take a stack S, and if we want to store the first 3 elements, then the first 3 elements will be stored in this manner. But what will happen to the queue is the queue will reduce to this. Okay, then we will remove all the elements from the stack and store it in the queue. So the elements will come like this. Then this stack will be gone. Now what we have to do, just observe here carefully. Now what is left? We have to bring this over here. We have to bring these 2 elements over here. How do we do that? We will push the front part of the queue to the back side. So we will push this element to the back side. So it will be 3, 2, 1, 4 and 5. Then we will push 5 to the back side. So it will become 3, 2, 1, 4, 5. So this is how we reverse first k elements. Take a stack, take a queue, queue is already there. Store the first k elements in the stack, remove the first k elements from the queue. Then remove the elements from the stack and store it back to the queue. Then remove the remaining elements, that is queue size minus k, those many remaining elements, remove it from the front of the queue and insert it at the back. Remove from the front, insert at the back, that's all. So let me show you the code, it will be easy to understand. See, we are given input, that is q and k. Okay, and now I'm taking a stack S, and I've taken a variable k1. I'll tell you why. So I am doing this while k is positive. That means until all the k elements are pushed to the stack. So we are pushing the front part of the queue to the stack and we are removing the front part. Basically, we are storing the first k elements of the queue in the stack. Then we are storing the elements in the stack back into the queue. We are putting the elements back to the queue, but now the order has been reversed. Why did we make use of stack? To reverse the order. Stack uses what? First in, last out concept, which will help us reverse the elements. Okay, so now stack is empty and the elements of the queue are back. Now I am running a for loop to this for loop is for what? The for loop is for the remaining elements. How many remaining elements are there? Q dot size minus k1. What is k1? K1 was initially k. So basically over here in this loop, k will become 0, right? So I can't use k over here, so I've used k1. So I need the remaining elements. What will I do with the remaining elements? I will take them out from the front and push it to the back. Take them out from the front, push it to the back. Take them out from the front, push it to the back of the queue. And then I will return the queue. So this is how we solve this problem. This made use of stack and queue. Basically, we just had to do some small circus, that's all. It was easy problem only. And I hope you are able to understand what I told. That's all for this video. I expect you to share this with all your friends, subscribe to the channel, it will really motivate me. And you've been supporting me all this time. Thank you so much for that. So you can take a look at the code for one last time, maybe. Yeah. So take care, stay safe, keep learning, keep growing, stay tuned. Bye.